Before we start today's episode, we'd like to thank musical engineering students Laz Brignoni and Mariah Bedell for composing a brand new theme for their Supernatural Sleuths. Here it is in its entirety. Welcome back to Supernatural Sleuths for another episode where we track down everything weird, cryptic, and paranormal to discuss and decide what we believe to be fact or fiction. I'm Seth Dowd.
I'm Katie Morgan.
And I'm Logan Probst.
Today we will be discussing a local demon house in Blair, Ohio. But first, let's kick things off with today's Guess the Cryptid. Logan will give us another list of facts and descriptions for us to make a guess about what the cryptid is.
My name is Hispanic. Name is Gazelle DeWay. I'm a reptile or canine. First sighting in March 1955. More than 2,000 sightings of me. I'm a hybrid of an extraterrestrial critter and a hairless dog.
I feel like I know I've heard of something like this before, but I can't remember the name. And I don't know why. I know this sounds familiar. Have you ever heard of this before?
I don't think so. I have no idea what it is. I don't know cryptids.
Say what's ever in your head.
I don't know. The only thing I can think of, I know you said Spanish, but it was already a Spanish name, is El Chupacabra.
That's it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Hey, I got one.
Nice.
Because I typed in goat sucker in Russian, and that's what got out. Gazelle DeWay.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hey, well, there we go. I got one right. On today's episode, we're going to be discussing another local piece of lore, as you would call it, about a house in Bel Air that has demon portals inside. Actually, the story of the house started when, in 1947, a woman who lived there named Lyde Hetherington died of a heart attack in the living room of her home. And what happened was her brother Edwin tried to contact her after she died, and he tried contacting through mediums and conducted seances in the house and attempted to connect with his sister. But he accidentally opened spiritual portals to the demon world and let several spirits into the home, including one that disguises herself as a little girl named Emily. There have been multiple sightings and instances with Emily within the house. And after the portals were opened, there's no record kept of where they are in the house, so no one knows where they are, but they've never been closed. And as long as there's no known location of them, they won't be able to be closed, and spirits will keep coming into the house. The most haunted area in the home is actually the attic, which there was an instance where Emily, the spirit, she allegedly pushed a small child out the window. And because of the activity in the attic, that's why they believe that's where the portal is, because it's the most haunted area in the home. The house has been passed from one family to the next because people will buy the house but move out quickly because of the activity in the home. But that was until it landed in the hands of the current owner. Her name is Kristen Lee, and she's been renting it out to paranormal investigators. What actually caused her to believe in the activity herself was she had a personal experience with the spirits. There was an instance where she says that she witnessed an entity grab her dog, and it grabbed her as well and threw them across the room. And after this, she couldn't help but let the paranormal investigators get in there. I mean, it's a paranormal hotspot, and there's so much more, too.
My research on this, I watched the BuzzFeed Unsolved video, which shout out to Ryan and Shane. But the dog, I'm just imagining Isabella's backpack because the dog was named Bella, where it got like yeeted across the room. And in the video, they did say the dog gets like unnerved about anything in that room. So could you just say the dog just yeeted itself across the room?
I mean, I guess it's a possibility, but from what she described, I don't think it's very likely. I mean, dogs sometimes have the ability to sense paranormal entities that humans don't even know are there. Well, here's another thing for you to think about. In each of the rooms where the paranormal investigators can sleep, all the investigators have left notes describing the supernatural activity of Emily. And there's like all kinds of, there's a room full of dolls, and the dolls have been seen moving on their own. There's been instances of stuff getting thrown around, and even just the uneasy feeling. I mean, they say that whenever you walk into the home, and especially when you walk up to the attic, you can feel the atmosphere is different.
The feeling of being watched, yeah, that's typical because it's a creepy looking house. The dolls, maybe they're sleepwalkers and just move the heads, or maybe they're pulling some kind of sick twisted prank on each other. I mean, I did hear from the BuzzFeed video that there was like a theory about like ancient burial grounds from like ancient Indians, so maybe they got upset too.
That could be. I mean, with the area's history and everything. But here's another thing you have to think about is the area of the home as well. And the house from the outside just looks like a normal house that like anybody would live in. The area the house is in is what's kind of odd, because the house itself is not far from an old mine they had to shut down because people were dying inside of this mine.
So what you're thinking is those souls from the mine have like transferred over to this house.
I don't know necessarily that it's that, but I think that the area could have something to do with it. And if you look at it too, it's statistically shown. I looked this up, that if you look at the time frame from whenever this guy opened the demon portals in the home, if you look at the crime rates in Bel Air, it has significantly increased since the time that he opened the portal in the home. So if there are demons and evil spirits getting out and roaming through the town, I mean, that would be a clear explanation for it.
I heard that the owner was sleeping and she saw like a apparition. I could blame that on like sleep paralysis. Same with the dog as well. That could also be blamed for sleep paralysis.
If you think about it though, on the point of sleep paralysis, this home is rented out and multiple people stay there and investigate. And there have been so many people who have seen full-bodied apparitions and have seen, like, faces in the windows. And there have been random, like, candle lights that will appear in the window when there's not even candles in the window. And there have been so many people that have seen this that it's practically impossible to blame every single occurrence on solely sleep paralysis.
Or something so simple.
Like, yes, you can be tired, but to have that many people be tired and to see the same thing because they're tired, it's not likely, because they wouldn't see the same thing.
All right.
I have made my decision, because most of the stuff that's happening that I've heard, most of it seems like it could most likely be explained through natural causes. The kidney stones probably had been developing them over years, and just most of it seems like it could have been faked, or the owner is just lying because they were the only one there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this one I do not think is actually haunted. That's it for this episode. Come back next time to see what other paranormal phenomena we have to discuss. Make sure to subscribe to Red Devil Productions for future releases from the program. Thanks for listening.